It's another daily update here on United and Everything Football. This is United Today. Players are returning for Man United as we approach the most crucial part of the season. We have just 10 league games to go and some few cup games to play. Players are returning in a bit to help United or help push United to end the season strongly. So some players are returning. We'll be giving you updates on that. We have got some transfer updates as well as the latest on Dan Ashworth and what is happening with the deal with Newcastle United. We've also got news on John Murtough, his role and what he's currently doing at United. We'll be giving you all of these updates. When we come back from this break, I'll break everything down for you here on United Today. Stay tuned. Well, thank you very much. We are back on United Today. It's always a pleasure to come your way. If this is your first time watching, please pause the video. Yes, pause the video and check that subscribe button there. And please click on the subscribe button because we've got loads of content for you here on this channel. If this is your first time, if you've been watching this channel and you've not subscribed, please do us the pleasure. It will be great for us if you pause the video and then subscribe and hit the notification bell. We do United Today, we do the United and Everything Football podcast. We've got a lot of other things for you here on this channel that you will enjoy. So please remember to hit the subscribe button. So let's get straight into the news. So some players are returning from injury. As you know, injury has been one of the most difficult things for Manchester United this season. Some key players going out injured, from Lisandro Martinez to Luke Shaw to Mason Mount to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. A lot of players have been out injured. Now, some players are returning, and one player who has been out for a very long time, Mason Mount, he's been out for 4 good months, is returning or has returned to training. So footage is released by the club showed Mason Mount had returned to full training with the team. As you know, he was in rehab. He was trying to get himself and his fitness up. He's been working very, very hard to get back into the team, and he's finally returned. So Mason Mount has joined the team, has finally joined team training for Manchester United. He got out injured with a calf problem, and it was supposed to last for a month. But it turned out that things got a lot more complicated. As a result of that, Mount couldn't keep up. So it had to go a longer time than as was reported. So it's been very difficult for Mason Mount, but finally he's back. And you could see from the reaction of his colleague players, from Diogo Dalot, from Bruno Fernandes, even from Declan Rice, his English teammate at the national, or his teammates at the national team level, all of them very, very happy and buzzing for Mason Mount that he's back. And it's not just Mason Mount alone who we are likely to see. Now, Lisandro Martinez is also likely to be back before the end of the month. Martinez got injured or has been injured for most parts of the season, came back, played some games, and then in a game against West Ham United, he had a knee injury that kept him out for 6 weeks. And reports coming out indicate that he has been called into the Argentine national team for next week's international friendlies. And now, he's a very important part of the team. He's not being called to go and, play football. He's being called to continue his rehabilitation with the team. The Argentine national team coach, Scaloni, sees this as the last camp they would have before they resume camp fully for the Copa America, will be coming up in June. So he's assembled all key players who are part of the team. Now, Martinez is very close to returning from injury. Very, very close from returning from injury. It's expected that he should be ready for the game against Brentford before the month ends for Manchester United. So that's some very, very positive news for Manchester United. And having a key player like Lisandro Martinez back in the squad. Now, another player who is expected to be in the squad for the game against Liverpool this weekend is Rasmus Højlund. So as you can see from the picture that I've just showed here, that's Rasmus Højlund coming into training, reporting to training. Now, the coach of Denmark was asked about Rasmus Højlund. He said that Rasmus, and this is what he said, that Rasmus will play on Sunday against Liverpool and must go through the match well. that's what we expect. We are in contact with Manchester United, and I've talked with Erik ten Hag, and we expect it to happen. So that's literally the coach of Denmark confirming that Rasmus Højlund would be in action this weekend for Manchester United, signaling that he's also back in the fold for Manchester United. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, as I told you in my last updates on the team, has also been on the grass, and he was also spotted in training. So it's a huge boost for United, who have been injury laden over the last couple of games or throughout the season. I mean, a lot of players being out, and it's really affecting the team. So that's it with regards to the injury updates. Let's do a bit of transfers. Now, like I said, we are getting very close to the window. United have started preparations for the transfer window, preparing for players to leave and preparing for players to come. So a lot of players are linked to United. Now, Pet Hall stated that United will be in for Gleison Bremer. He's a player for Juventus. Now, he's one player that United have placed on it rather as part of the central defense overhaul that United is seeking to do. United's central defense, as you know, needs an overhaul. And United are trying their best to get the best of the best or very good players to come and fit in that situation, because it's likely that Rafael Varane will leave. One of Lindelof or Harry Maguire are likely to also depart from the club. So United are looking at Gleison Bremer of Juventus as one of the players to come, fit into that central defensive role for Manchester United. And he has a release clause of around £43 million. United is trying to look at currently to see if he would be able to join the club. So Gleison Bremer of Juventus is one of the names that have come up for Manchester United. And United are saying that should United be able to, or Pet Hall is saying that should United be able to sell some players of up to about 100 million, it would give United more room to be able to afford some more central defenders into the team. So that's it with regards to Gleison Bremer. Now, in my previous updates, I mentioned one player who has also been on the radar, Jean-Claire Todibo. Todibo plays for OGC Nice, a team that is owned by part owners of Manchester United, Ineos. Now, you'd just say, I'm sure you'd pretty say, oh, if it's OGC Nice owned by Ineos and United partly owned by Ineos, it's just going to be a straightforward deal. Now, Todibo has a price tag of about 47 to 51 million pounds. Now, Jacob Burns is reporting that United will not be receiving any discount from Nice, despite the fact that the club is owned by Ineos. And Manchester United don't see this price as best value for money. So a lot of things will factor into some of the sales or the purchases that United will be doing. But this is what Jacob Burns is reporting, that United don't see Todibo's price of 47 to 51 million pounds as value for money. And as a result of that, might be looking at other options. And I've just reported that Gleison Bremer is one of the names that is being considered. But we'll see how all of these things play out as we progress, and be rest assured that we'll be here to give you all the updates with regards to some of these issues here on United and everything football. I have one last update, and that is on Dan Ashworth. Dan Ashworth, as you know, is the director of football for Newcastle United. He has been placed on gardening leave because United has made an approach, and he has communicated to Newcastle that he wants to go. As a result of that, there's negotiations ongoing. Now, as things stands, Martinez, one of the most reliable sources when it comes to United news, has stated that the negotiation is currently ongoing on very, very well. However, there are some few things that is being contended here by Newcastle United, and it has to do with the start date. United ideally would have wanted that Ashworth to be in place to start work before the summer transfer window opens. But it looks as if Newcastle is going to play hardball. And it's understood because Dan Ashworth has already seen everything that is happening with regards to the club in terms of their plans and everything. So It's the whole essence of the gardening leave, just to place them in a position where it becomes very difficult for them to at least go ahead of you with some of the plans that they are doing. So a resolution is likely to, delay a bit, but the discussion, as we know, is currently ongoing and all of that. So you'd ask, so who is currently running football operations now? It's the same people that have been there. That is John Murtagh. So that brings me to John Murtagh and what is happening to John Murtagh. So John Murtagh and then the other team that are already there are the ones that have made plans and they are being supervised by Ineos with regards to things that are happening in the transfer window. So they are continuing with the work and whatever is being happening at the club with regards to the transfer. So as I brought you in my last update, John Murtagh has been around. He's been traveling to see other sporting directors of other clubs to, have a discussion with regards to all the other things that are happening. So John Murtagh is still working or is still in charge with regards to the things that has to do with United's transfer operations and all the other things that has got to do with the football operations. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe and David Brailsford, according to Rob Dawson, are keen to retain John Murtagh, and who has been heavily involved in all the planning and everything. They are keen to retain him. It looks like he has impressed ever since this new ownership took over with regards to Manchester United. So, guys, that's it with regards to our updates for today. Please remember, when we come to your way tomorrow, we are coming up with United and Everything Football podcast and not a daily update. So we would have discussions on some of the things that we have here or some of the updates that we give to you here on United and Everything Football. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. So important to us. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great time and enjoy yourself.